to ensure that our children are taken care of. So as many of you know, my passion and my heart is in education, and particularly for children that just don't have access to what many, many children do in this country. And I think when COVID came along, we again witnessed the huge divide that we do have in our country. So as soon as the lockdown was announced in early March, my first fear and my first cry out to God was, here we are again. You know, we've been working for the past 30 years with children who are a legacy of apartheid, and the past 25 years, they've been the legacy of neglect of their education, and now again, their education is going to be ravaged. So I first wanted to just stay in bed and cry, but we don't have that luxury. So as soon as the lockdown was announced in early March, our amazing team got together and prepared educational packs for all our learners at both the primary and the high school. And of course, we were believing that this was just going to be a 3-week thing. So the FET College would put a plan in place to catch up on all their programs in April, and that their programs would still end at the end of June. And then immediately our very next concern was the feeding of many of our learners who we feed during the day at school as well. And so we partnered with Charity Fusion to start out just feeding 30 of our learners in the Jerusalem informal settlement, which is out on the West Rand, and quite a number of our children come from there. And we were just overwhelmed when we sent out a joint appeal, and we were able to feed 500 families a week in that area, as well as donate food to Rays of Hope in Alex, to Mtunjeni, and to support quite a number of our college students with food and rent during this time. Then the lockdown was extended, and so our academic manager and her staff, many of our staff who don't have access to internet, data, laptops, put a plan together and started a blended learning program online, which basically had to be WhatsApp and voice notes. And I'm just going to put in a few things here because I think it's important that we recognize how amazing God is during this time. But over 60% of our learners came onto the WhatsApp groups, borrowing phones from grannies, neighbors, aunties, uncles. And this program has been so amazing, particularly the primary school one, which is called Learn From Home, that we work with an organization called The Link, who come and read with our children. It's a literacy program at the school, have actually asked if we would be able to share this program with a number of other disadvantaged schools in the Johannesburg area. And that again goes to just the amazing passion of our staff. And it's not easy going online, and teaching online. And I know how difficult it has been for so many of our teachers at the Vineyard. And I think of those teachers in the Sparrow community who have very little access, and we'd never heard of online teaching before, and now suddenly had to learn how to become online specialists. So it was just incredible to see that. And those are the miracles I think we witness at Sparrows when we see that 100% of our teachers bought in to doing this teaching. Then, of course, the FET College decided if the lockdown was going to be extended, they would also now have to start teaching via WhatsApp. So only about 10% of our learners have access to computers and data. So we have to start thinking about more creative ways of being able to reach our children and our students, which is 750 in total. So we got together with our job coaches, and we managed to get permits for 10 people at Sparrow to be essential drivers. We started printing and delivering packs, educational packs, from Pretoria to Springs to Soweto and as far as Vereeniging, so that all 750 learners would receive their packs on a weekly basis, and that these 10 essential drivers would then collect the completed work every week and bring it back to the school. And I just have to mention here that quite a number of our staff members, Tommy being one of them, is joining us this morning, and he's been involved in from the feeding to the delivering of packs to the collection of packs to going into communities to speak to families in these difficult times. Then we won't go into all the hullabaloo about schools opening or closing or staying shut or whatever, but on the 1st of June, we were very fortunate that we were able to open up for our grade 7s and our level 1 at the high school. And so 22 and 28 children first returned. Yeah, I have to say, Peter assisted me, my dear husband, working with our maintenance teams. We received wonderful donations of sanitizer, face masks, face shields. Our staff started actually cleaning from May in preparation for our children. And so we were ready to receive these children. And yeah, it was the right thing for Sparrow, because our children really need to be back at school and be in a safe space where we can really be teaching them about staying safe. And that was quite something, because there was obviously a lot of stress involved with staff having to come back. And we also now had to continue teaching online. I'll get into the plans of God in all of that in a minute, because on the 8th of June, we were able to bring back additional learners. We're a special needs school, and we are also considered a small school. So we were able to bring back 120 learners to both schools. With the majority of our staff, our primary school has got 3 teachers are still in Zimbabwe, and 1 teacher who has serious comorbidities, and so she's not allowed back. But again, when we first thought about how we're going to actually do this, we need so many extra bodies, because we now have to break up classes into smaller groups. We've had some incredible volunteers that have stepped forward to assist us to ensure that we are keeping our classes to small sizes of between 8 and 10. And yeah, it's been really interesting getting our children back, and it really is the right thing. We can just see the emotional strain. And we don't even want to be starting to think of some of the horrors that some of our children have experienced during the lockdown. But it's been really wonderful seeing them back. And, when I look back, it hasn't been an easy time, and I'm sure it hasn't been an easy time for anybody. So when we look at the last 3 months, to say that it's been stressful would be an understatement. But at the same time, being able to teach these children who have very limited resources, many from informal settlements, many from places of safety, and many financially challenged children, we've seen a staff that has pulled together. And when I say a staff, it's our wider community as well. The minute we heard about Corona, we got a prayer team together. That prayer team has just grown stronger and stronger at Sparrow, and we have somebody heading that up daily for us. We fast once a week. And we have just seen God's hand move amidst all the crises of our government subsidy not being paid on time, still hasn't been paid, was supposed to be paid on the 15th of May. We've seen parents trying to make a plan to get their children back to school, parents coming to visit the school before the school opens. We had a wonderful miracle where we were selected by HP worldwide to start providing laptops, and we've delivered the first 30, I think it's about 36 laptops to students at the college so that they could complete their courses. And even though we've seen contracts cancelled and our finances being depleted, and we have been able to pay our staff their salaries every month. And then I also just want to make special mention, because sometimes, we think it's all about the money, and of course, money would help. We had lots of money, we could just employ a lot of people. But wonderful people have stepped forward, and one of them being one of the ladies in our own home group. And this is a huge thing for us at Sparrow, is the student and staff wellness. So we have a student wellness program, which takes care of all our students' needs and makes sure that if anybody needs counseling, we're able to find that support for them. But one of the worries, and I know that when Jackie Booster shared, it's such a real thing, that a lot of our teachers and a lot of our staff are incredibly stressed at this time, not only about COVID, not only about watching family members lose jobs, having to help support family members, but the fear of coming back. And what are we stepping back into? And Fran in our home group, out of the blue, phoned me one day and said, would you be needing some counseling for your staff? We've got master students that need to do their practicals, and they are not able to go and see their students, their clients that they normally do, that need the support, and we are able to support your staff. So again, God comes through in every area, not only our financial and our daily care, but how he's come through for Sparrow again now on the wellness side, and how we are able to have so many of our staff members in counseling now. So it's been a tough time, but we see God on a daily basis coming through. And I just want to thank everybody at the Vineyard and the prayer groups. Many of the days that I've been able to join have been amazing for me. And just knowing you're all out there praying for us keeps us going every day. So thank you.
Thanks, Jackie.